First thing you're going to do, this is the most boring, annoying thing ever, but you need to do it. I want you guys to go to your account settings tab in the top right-hand corner like I've done here, and I want you to fill in your payment settings. This is the most important thing, guys. I can't guess where you live. Our accounting team is not like me. They are not friendly. They don't care if you put in your information wrong. We can't resend payments. So let's say you generate $100 in the month of August and payment is sent out August 15th, or September 15th, I beg your pardon. We pay out on a monthly net 15 basis. That means any traffic generated in the calendar month gets paid out 15 days later the following month. Okay, so you might be waiting a little while, which is why you need to make sure your billing information is 100% correct. We have a couple different ways you can get paid, wire transfer or a check. Guys, make sure this is accurate. I would triple, quadruple check this. Get your bank teller or whoever to email you your account information just so you have a second set of eyes and you don't input anything incorrectly. Because once again, if the payment doesn't go through because the information is incorrect, I won't be able to send that payment until October 15th. I don't know about you guys. I don't like waiting longer than a second for money that's owed to me, much less a month, especially in this industry where it's very much a cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash flow centric business. So first thing you guys should do, you should be doing this right now. Go to your account settings and fill in your payment details. I know it's boring. Bear with me. It's really important. There's a couple different ways we can pay you more frequently. So if you start generating more traffic, say, a couple grand a week or 3 or 4, start getting up there, we can move you to semi-monthly payments, which means that any traffic generated August 1st to August 15th will be paid out on August 30th. So you're getting your money a little bit sooner. If you start killing it, if you're a rock star, if you're a diamond in the rough, to quote Aladdin, we will start paying you weekly. So we're looking for large amounts of volume for there, something around 8 to 9K a week, maybe a little bit higher. Then we can start doing weekly payments. So August 1st to August 8th traffic, we pay you out August 22nd. Not too many people get up there, but I would love for that to be a goal for you guys. It's awesome. There's a couple of different things we can talk about on the front page here, but nothing that you probably already haven't seen yourself. You can contact us anytime, but our office hours are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. roughly Pacific Standard Time. Contact us, guys, all the time. We want to make sure that we are your resource. And if I can stress one thing about this webinar, and about how to be successful is to make sure to contact us. Don't be shy. Don't worry about bugging us. I hear that a lot. Like, oh, sorry to bug you. Nope, that sentence is totally irrelevant to me. I want you guys to bug me. I want to be able to provide you with as much information as possible. Now, I'm not going to know as much as you guys in terms of your promotion types. If you have a question like, Henry, how do I get to the top page on Google for the keywords for pest control? You're going to hear crickets, and not the kind of crickets you want to get rid of with pest control. The metaphorical crickets, because I don't know. I don't know that. I can tell you, general information about promotion types, what's successful with what campaign, what the campaign is looking for, tips and tricks. I got a ton of them, and I want to tell you about them. I know our system really well. I know how to get you approved on offers really well. I know how to handle, violations or complaints really well. I want to make sure, because guys, I don't make money unless you make money. So I want you guys to make money. I'm not just a friendly face. We're here to, pile up that cash, but that doesn't mean we can't be friendly. But what I'm trying to get at is think of me as your resource and your guide through pay-per-call. If you ever want to set up a time to chat, give me an email and we'll talk. There's a couple of other things on the dashboard here. I'm not going to get into them too much just because we have so much content to get through. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on to the campaigns. And this is really the meat and potatoes, or if you're a vegetarian, just the potatoes. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes, and we are going to click on campaigns here. And there's a question right away. How do I find the campaigns? To find campaigns, there are 2 different tabs you can take. My Campaigns and Find Campaigns. My Campaigns will warp you to Invoca, and I should mention Invoca is our platform that we use to host and track calls and campaigns. You're probably going to be doing most of your legwork in Invoca. I would say about 90% of your work there, 10% in your dashboard. Make sure you're very comfortable with Invoca. It's not too bad. You basically got your dashboard and your campaigns tab. Reports, I wouldn't worry about until you start generating calls, but that's going to be where you look at your stats. For now, let's focus on view campaigns. This is a list of all the campaigns that you have either been approved on, applied for, or declined on. Don't be intimidated. These declines are only because when I apply for campaigns on my dummy account, it's just for webinar purposes. It's very easy to get approved. But if you're ever uncertain if you've applied to a campaign or you've been approved or what, just go to the View Campaigns tab and it'll show you. Here's the tab that you really want to focus on, Find Campaigns. Once again, this is going to take you to Invoca, and this is a little bit of a quirk here, guys. On the bottom left-hand corner, I want you to pull the pull-down menu from 10 to 100. I don't know why the default is only 10. We have more than 10 campaigns. Here is what you see is a full list of campaigns plus the 14 that I was already declined on. So that means we have 95 active campaigns. So I had to do some math there. 95 active campaigns, which is awesome, you guys. When I first started with RingPartner, I think we had maybe 15 to 20 active campaigns. Thanks to, huge amount of growth, thanks to publishers like yourself, we have expanded like crazy. We moved into a new office. We're up to 25 employees. We're up to 95 campaigns. That is a general indication that pay-per-call is a growing business. And again, thanks to you guys. So I want to go over this list a little bit before we move on to how to get approved. So one thing I did want to mention, guys, is right now the 7-day EPC is a little off. Ignore that for now. Here's a quick explanation of EPC. Let's say a campaign pays you $10 for a 2-minute duration. Let's just say plumbing, for example. Let's say you send one call and the call goes over the duration, then you're going to get paid $10. Great. Your EPC is $10. Which means that you've had one call sent and you were paid $10. Let's say another person calls in, but it's a repeat caller, and you don't get credit for that. So now you've sent 2 calls, but only 1 is paid. Your EPC would then be $5. So that's the total amount you've earned on the campaign divided by the number of calls that you've sent. There are another couple of statistical measures to see how successful you are on a campaign, like conversion rate or something like that, but EPC is usually a pretty good indication. However, for now, Invoca's told me that they're looking to fix this. It's just a bit of a glitch. Ignore that. If you really want to know a campaign's network-wide EPC or exchange-wide EPC, I should say, just ask me. I'll let you know. So how do you choose a campaign? And this is probably the best question I get. How do I choose the right campaign for me? What do I do? It's a very good question, and to me, the devil is in the details. And, Taryn, I say this all the time. You've heard of measure twice, cut once.
That's right.
All right. In this industry, guys, it's measure 13 or 14 times and cut once very slowly. Do your legwork. Do your research. Find nuances about a campaign. Maybe we're going to find a chiropractor as an example. Maybe it's because you have a chiropractor business. Maybe your father's or mother's a chiropractor. Maybe you have some friends who are chiropractors. Maybe you go to the chiropractor frequently, so you have a general idea of what that industry entails. There is no such thing as insider trading with this, guys. I want you to pick a campaign or 2 or 3 that you have experience in or that you've done a lot of research for. I would dissuade you guys from running campaigns with extremely high payouts just at the start. Things like rehab, tort, personal injury, all these campaigns with very high payouts look really appealing, right? You log on and you think, hey, I can earn up to $300 and all I have to send is 1 call. Well, hold your horses there, Professor. The reason that the campaign is such a high payout is a number of reasons, but primarily it's very competitive. These spaces are full of sharks that have been in the space for a really long time, and they will eat you alive. You're going to spend way too much time and way too much money trying to get a single call. Not worth it. Secondly, the durations are very long. It's very difficult to get a conversion. You're looking at conversion rates of around 5 to 10%. I'm not sure if you can afford that, but most can't. The buyers are also very strict. The agents are exceedingly detailed in their questions. And, if beyond that, if you have a lot of experience in those fields or you've gotten your feet wet with other campaigns and you want to give it a try, perfect, no problem. But you're all on the Getting Started webinar, so I can assume that you're new to RingPartner. I would highly recommend you pick a different campaign. Pick something in the home services field. We have a number of campaigns that all relate to services involving the home. We've all lived in a home or visited a home or understand the challenges involved there. So things like plumbing, electricians, paving, tree service, pest control, pool service, fix your roof, paint your house, fix your siding, windows, carpeting, flooring. There's a number of campaigns out there that are very easy to delve into the mindset of a caller. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out why somebody would call a plumber or why somebody would need a plumber. However, it might take a rocket scientist to figure out the intricacies of tax debt or credit repair. These are difficult financial offers, and the biggest challenge is sometimes the callers don't even know their own situation when they call this thing. But they do know about their home. They do know, oh, there's old Stumpy in the backyard and my grandkids have been tripping on it. If you could come remove it, that would be great. I'm not even a tree service expert. I don't own a home, but I've been around trees and I can foresee problems that people would have. These are the kinds of details I want you guys to think about when you pick a campaign. I would recommend picking 1 or 2 campaigns at the most to get started with. You guys, I don't know how many of you can juggle. I can juggle 3 balls, maybe 4 at the most. Think of it like the campaign. You have to dedicate so much mental energy and research to these things. You don't want to all of a sudden start juggling 6 or 7 different things at once, especially if you're new to RingPartner. Pick 1 or 2 campaigns that you're comfortable with, and then you can start applying to the campaign. When you click on a campaign in Invoca, it's going to bring you to the campaign overview page. And in this case, it's going to show you a large amount of information, and I'm going to walk you through it. So, category is up here. There will be a description about what the campaign's looking for. Every campaign will have this note. This campaign requires all creatives to be approved. We'll go into that a little bit later on. There'll usually be a couple of targeting ideas and suggestions. Guys, we try and update this information as much as possible, but you know how the internet works. It moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Things change. Always get a Partner Successes Manager's input before you run a campaign. That can either be myself, Taylor, Marie, Laura, or Amber. Please ask us. You're likely going to speak to either myself or Marie. Here, you're going to see, now for some reason this is another little quirk with Invoca, it just looks like nothing is allowed, but if you click the Show All Promotion Methods, then it'll pop up. It'll show you what is and isn't allowed. Now, this is a really interesting part of pay-per-call to me. Everything is nuanced. Everything is sort of a case-by-case basis. I can tell you now that 99.9% of our offers allow search, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are probably our 3 biggest promotion types. Now, just because it says that this campaign doesn't allow, other or TV or radio, it doesn't necessarily mean that. We usually put that in to scare off inexperienced partners. If you have television traffic, if you have, radio traffic, if you have magazine traffic, let me know. I can't guarantee that we'll get you on, but I don't want to shut the door right away. There are a few promotion types that we absolutely don't allow at any point under any circumstances. SMS, any kind of outbound calling or texting is absolutely forbidden at RingPartner. Incentive traffic. Incentive traffic we absolutely cannot allow. It just doesn't work. Now, a lot of people have tried incentive traffic in the past. That's fine. If you want to do it on freebies or Candy Crush or whatever, hey, that's fine. We just don't want it. Absolutely no incentive at all. Keep that in mind. Same with rewards or lead form or co-reg. But, discount sites, email, we don't really allow anymore. But it's a case-by-case basis. But majority of our traffic are things like banners, content, search, YouTube, and Facebook. TV and radio on the side as well. So keep that in mind. Some other factors to consider are going to be hours of operation and the regions. This is a big one. There are a couple of variables that have to be met in order for you to get paid for a call. 1, it has to go over the connect duration. And down here we can see that this campaign pays $7.50 for a 90-second duration. Most of our campaigns are around that. Some campaigns will be at 30 seconds or 60 seconds. The more expensive you get, you start getting into legal or insurance. Yeah, the duration might pop up to 2 minutes, but this one is 90 seconds. I know what some of you are thinking, 90 seconds seems like a long time. It's not, I assure you. Once they get talking if they're a legitimate lead and they're talking about a chiropractor, they're going to have to speak like the Micro Machines guy in order to get, sort of their information across and get an appointment booked in under 90 seconds. In fact, an average paid call, particularly on the home services category, that is a good legitimate lead, is around 3 to 4 minutes. So 90 seconds, you'll have plenty of time. What you want to consider is the hours and the geos as well. So we try to have as many campaigns as possible that are 24/7. However, it's not like the internet where we're just filling in a lead form and it doesn't matter what time you do it. We are sending these calls to legitimate buyers and call centers. So there needs to be butts and seats. There needs to be somebody on the other end to talk to somebody. We're not in the business of sending calls to voicemails. We don't want to send to voicemails. It does happen occasionally, but basically what I mean is you want to consider hours as a major factor if you want to run the campaign. I would lean more towards 24/7. However, 9 to 9 is also not bad Monday to Friday. People have plenty of time to get home from work to call this number up till 9 o'clock Eastern. Keep that in mind. Another thing are the geos. Again, we try and have as many nationwide campaigns. This campaign only is allowed on very specific regions. So that's a bit of a factor as well. Maybe people don't want to run campaigns that aren't 24/7 nationwide. Completely understood. I should let you know about the nationwide phrasing. With most of our home services, outside Cairo and a couple others, it says nationwide coverage. But it's not every square inch of the United States. What it means is that it's based on zip code coverage. When people call in, they're going to dial their zip code. I can't explain the full technical details to you because I don't understand them myself. But our system says, this person is in area code 12345. It's going to immediately search for a chiropractor, a plumber, an electrician, what have you, in that area. And that's how we direct the calls to that specific business. Now, if the person is 50 miles away from the nearest plumber, Bob the plumber picks up and says, where are you at? Wolverton. I'm not going to Wolverton. That's 50 miles away. Click. Now, that may have been a legitimate lead, but it's just a matter of coverage. So we have sort of not necessarily a golden rule, maybe a silver rule. You want to target towns around 10 to 15,000 or higher. That's generally the number where we start to see a lot of services available to people. I'd also recommend, especially if you're new, focusing on a specific area or areas. Nationwide can be a little daunting, and I would avoid the really, really big cities like, New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Houston, just because they're so competitive. I would focus on a town that you know really, really well. Focus on local stuff. Focus on your own town or your county or your state or maybe, the surrounding states, just so you have an idea and you have a really good way of sort of hooking people in. Mentioning, local attractions or landmarks, local, vernacular or grammar can go a long way. People really like the idea of being understood. Oh, I'm in Montana, so the bugs we're having. Oh, this site mentions all the bugs we're having. Oh, it mentioned the earthquake that we had a month ago. Yep, this person sure understands me. I'm going to call into this offer. Little stuff like that can make a really big difference. We're now going to go into, and one more thing I should mention, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself here. The rate, obviously very, very important. If you see a rate here, that's what we call our street rate. That's our default rate. We try not to take too big a margin, but obviously we got to take margins ourselves. However, if you ever need a higher rate to do more volume, or you need a higher rate just to keep the campaign going, please let me know. Don't be shy about this. We're not going to be offended if you ask for a pay bump. We ask them for our buyers all the time. What I would be offended about is if you try a campaign out, doesn't work out, and then you kind of go your own way and don't let me try and help you. I want to know if a campaign fails, guys. We want to know if you can do, double the amount of calls with a higher rate. Let me know in an email. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. That goes for almost everything, you guys. We have so many partners, and again, think about those top guys we talked about. The top dogs are always chatting to us. Don't be a stranger. If you feel you can do more volume with a higher rate, I want to know. I hope everyone's paying attention because this is going to be the most important part of the webinar, how to get approved on offers. Step 1, you're going to find the campaign in Invoca. In this case, we've clicked on Find a Chiropractor. Okay? Step 2, you're going to apply to the campaign in Invoca. I'm going to mention my promotion methods. Very basic. I'm going to say, I'm going to run this campaign using organic search on my website, henryissupercool.com. I don't think that's an actual website, but it should be. I want to click about the terms and conditions. I've read them and apply to the campaign. Okay, guys, so that's step 2. Let's go over it again so it's in your head. Step 1, find a campaign in Invoca. Step 2, apply to the campaign in Invoca. Step 3, I'm going to go to the Creative Approval tab in my dashboard. Now, sometimes this does take a minute or two to load, so you just have to be patient. You can twiddle your thumbs or sing a song or go grab a cup of coffee, but it should load very quickly. After that, the campaigns that you've applied to are going to show themselves in this pull-down menu. So in my case, I want to find a chiropractor, and Taryn is very helpful and pointing me out to it. Thank you very much. That's going to pop up, how do you plan to promote Find a Chiropractor? We do need to see all your creatives for the campaigns. We need to see the flow. We need to see how the person is going to see the campaign. I know some of you might say, well, Henry, I don't have a creative ready yet. No problem. We might deny you on the offer for now, but when your creative is ready, go ahead and reapply and we'll likely approve you. We do need to see creatives though, guys. This is a hard line here. This is how we stay compliant. This is how we keep the buyers happy. This is how we keep you guys happy. We just need to make sure you're not going to promise anything the buyer can't deliver on. So if you don't have a creative ready, if you don't have a video ready yet or a landing page or what have you, make it first and then go through the steps of applying. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, I don't want to spend a lot of time making a creative if I'm not going to get approved. Well, you are going to get approved because I'm going to tell you how. And the people that submit creatives, we approve about 95% of them. You want to have relevant content on there. People need to make sure right away that they know what kind of offer they're calling into. If you don't have pictures, if you don't have frequently asked questions, if you don't have the phone number prominently displayed, we're not going to approve you. Step 2, no misleading language or hostile language. We can't run an offer if you say something like, well, if you don't call this chiropractor number, your back's going to give out and you're going to die. You know, nothing mean like that, nothing threatening like that. You want to make sure you create an essential service and value. Thank the person for coming to your site. Talk about chiropractors a little bit. Show a couple people happy, with their chiropractors, and make sure that the content is relevant. Make sure it looks nice too, guys. We can't have any sort of GeoCities looking pages from 1996. You don't want to. It doesn't want to look. We don't want to see. Maybe look like the computer threw up all over the page. We need to have nice and clean landing pages. Relevant content, no misleading language. One last thing, specific pricing you want to avoid. We can't make any promises unless the campaign specifically says you can. So for home services, you can use flowery language like satisfaction guaranteed, call for a free consultation, expert service, qualified experts, talk to somebody local. Stuff like that you can say for sure, and that's recommended. I would avoid saying something like cheapest, chiropractors in Fort Collins because we have no idea if it actually is. So once you've gone through these steps, you've found the campaign in Invoca, you applied to the campaign in Invoca, you've submitted your creatives, and right here I'm just going to do henryissupercool.com, just put that there. And you're going to hit Submit Creatives. And you're done. Creative submitted. If you don't have the capacity or the knowledge or the time or the money to make your own good-looking landing pages, I would recommend checking out Unbounce. We have a deal here where you can get 50% off their landing page membership for 3 months using the promo code RingPartner 2016. Unbounce is just a good resource that makes landing pages quickly. We have a couple of others that a lot of our users use that I would recommend, Lead Gadget being another one for sure. But basically, they take the time to make sure that they walk you through how to make creatives quickly. All right, guys, we've got some really good questions, so I'm going to shoot over to those. One of them is, we fill out creatives before approval. That is correct. So we need to see your creatives before I can approve you on a campaign. Now, it's not a big deal if you apply to a campaign and don't submit creatives and you get denied. Everyone's been denied on a campaign. No problem. You can always reapply. But it's, like I said, a firm line. We need to see your creatives before you get approved. And if you ever want to double check with me, like, hey, Henry, do you mind checking out my page? Or, will this get approved? I have a pretty good idea of what will or won't get approved. So absolutely, you can ask me. Oh, an excellent question. Somebody is mentioning Rosetta Stone. Yes, once in a while, we actually will have buyers that submit or supply their own creatives. They're very few and far between. LendingTree is one. Rosetta Stone, I believe, is another. There are about 4 or 5 on there that have their own creatives. If you click the Creatives tab, you'll see that they have some banners available for you already. So keep that in mind. Most campaigns, however, don't, which is a little different. Yes, another good point. A lot of people mentioned that the dating offers do have some creatives. So, yep, Guy Spy for the gay dating service, live links. You want to check those out for sure. So, guys, we're getting near the end of the webinar. We are hitting our half an hour timeline here. So, if we didn't get to one of your questions, I do apologize. Please email me, henry@ringpartner.com. We do have a couple more questions. One of the questions actually I do want to talk about real quick is, do all pay-per-call campaigns need landing pages? No, sort of. If you're doing search, yes. If you're doing click-to-call, you do need a landing page, but callers won't get to it. And I know it's a bit silly having to get a landing page approved, even though no one's going to see it. Google is going to ask for it, and so are we. Doesn't need to be flashy, just can be pretty bare bones, but we do need to see one there. If you're doing Facebook or YouTube, you don't need a landing page. I would look up a little bit on YouTube advertising as well as Facebook. But basically what we're looking for is people calling your promo number. When you get approved, you're going to get your own unique promo number. That's what we need people to call into. You can add either a toll-free or a 1-800 number, or you can sort of mask it with your own vanity number to make it look like it's, something fun. I'm not sure. As long as it directs to the promo number. That's how our system is going to tell that you get paid. And if you have any other questions about that, please let me know, because it's very important and I need to know that you guys are comfortable with that. So again, I have talked way too long, you guys. Thank you so much for attending. Great attendance, great questions. Like I said, if I didn't get to your answer or your question rather, give me an email, henry@ringpartner.com, and give us a call. Our phone number, I'll mention it again here, is 888-656-3726, extension 222. Please contact us with any questions or concerns you may have. RingPartner is growing. We're attending lots of conferences. We're hiring new people, and we are getting so many distribution partners like yourself signing up. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.